stand here to move a motion in tribute to our fallen elder and gallant soldier of the FDC. I recollect I last had an interface with him when he was the key note speaker at the National Council. And as usual with his humor, confidence, and humility, everyone wished that he should not stop speaking. But today, he's laying quiet in a casket. It's really so sad that a moment like this, I know it will come for each one of us, but it's very sad that Dr. Nabwiiso, reconciliator as he was, has not seen the day when the FDC is moving together as it was before we went into the turbulent times. And I pray and continue to appeal to our colleagues that the best way we can honor Dr. Nabwiiso is to keep the fabric of the party together and avoid negative energy within the party, because those are the values he stood for. Dr. Nabwiiso really asserted himself so much on unity and reconciliation. And in his honor, as acting chairman now, I'll appeal to all members of the FDC to maintain the value of peace, unity, and reconciliation as Dr. Nabwiiso kept preaching to all of us. I remember when he was relaying the reports of the Elders Committee, the whole world was watching to see who the winner is and who the loser was at that time. Intelligent as he is, and the members of the committee that he led, in this report there was no winner and there was no loser. FDC was the winner instead. And we must salute him for that. It's unfortunate that some people looked down on the report and compared it to many things. But as Ugandans, we really applaud him for that very good reconciliating report. I pray that the Almighty grants him eternal rest and let perpetual light shine upon his soul. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much indeed, Honorable Centenary. I will now ask the seconder of the motion, my son, Boniface Dr. Rebuka Bamwenda, to take to the podium to second the motion.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, the Secretary General, members of the National Executive Committee, stakeholders, media practitioners, my fellow citizens. I, Boniface Toterevuka Bamwenda, second a motion to pay glowing tribute to Honorable Professor Dr. Omwijukuru Frank Wilberforce Ulima Nabwiiso. He's my Mwijukuru. Whenever referred to him as my Mwijukuru, he would say Jaja. So when you hear these names, Bulima, those are words from our place. The town council between Hoima and Masindi, called Bulima. Honorable Dr. Frank Nabwiiso, in his youthful days, worked in Radio Uganda, whatever you can call now UBC, in post-independence Uganda. Honorable Dr. Frank Nabwiiso was secretary of the peace talks in Nairobi of 1985. They were chaired by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Toroitich Daniel Arap Moi, the NRM side, NRM, where Dr. Nabwiiso was secretary, official spokesman, Dr. Samson Babi Mululu Kiseka, legal advisor, Wycliffe Kazora, led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Elia Franka Tukahi Wakategaya, Matthew Ruchikaire, Grace Stewart Ibinjira, Sam Male, Sam Kalega Njuba, Gertrude Njuba, Matthew Ruchikaire, I think I've mentioned here. Eli Tumwine, the government side, the Uganda National Liberation Army, represented by the chairman of the Military Commission and head of state, General Tito Okello, vice chairman, Brigadier Guard Wilson Toko, Minister of Defense, Olaro Tumu, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, Minister of Internal Affairs. Olaro Tumu was for Foreign Affairs. Professor Dent Ochayala Kidi, Minister of Local Government. Sam Kahamba Kutesa, Attorney General. On the Rutwa side, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Bweya, Major Kaliesubula, Major Thomas Kiyengo from Gomba Hill. Fellow mourners, when we were in our National Executive Committee retreat at Navinonya, I asked the encyclopedia, my Mwijukuru, Honorable Dr. Frank Nabwiiso, that why was the Nairobi peace talks not implemented? You were a secretary. Can you provide us details? Dr. Professor Nabwiiso said those were just peace jokes. That was the answer I received. I don't know those who go to negotiate, those who are for agreements are also for peace jobs, which enabled his side to reorganize and finally assault Kampala. So, negotiations, the ink had not even dried after the Nairobi peace talks. Kampala was shelled with bombs. And legal notice number 1 was enacted, which is still in force up to today. The peace talks of Nairobi were not implemented. Dr. Frank Nabwiiso is a peacemaker. He's the son of a reverend. So you should not be surprised why he was really an astute Ugandan. A real human being, very respectful to the young, the middle-aged, and the old. I've told you in his humbleness, I used to refer to him as my Mwijukuru, and he would respect me as Jaja. Again, in that Navinonya, he mentioned Cecilia Ogwal. I think it's very really disappointing. All these are going this year. When I referred to Cecilia Ogwal as my daughter, some people were surprised. That's how we refer to each other. So now, I am in deep mourning of all these friends of ours, these distinguished Ugandans who had this country at heart. It's very unfortunate. Uganda has been conquered. It is being dominated and being occupied. So, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, Secretary General, members of the National Executive Committee, may the soul of the deceased be sustained. So help me God.
Thank you very much for that exposition. I will now request our distinguished elder, who worked closely with the late Dr. Frank Nabwiiso, Mzee Robinson Kasozi, to make a submission on behalf of the elders. He is going to make it while seated.
Mr. President, fellow monarchs, I'm called Robinson Kasozi, a member of the Elders Committee, which was chaired by now the late Professor Dr. Frank Nabwiiso. It is very sad news indeed that we have lost a distinguished person in the name of Nabwiiso. We who follow him now hesitate to find the direction we are going to take to steer our party to its logical conclusion. However, we are saying in Uganda, awakule nume tewakule yemu. We are going to soldier on until we win the journey. However, it will not be a complete journey without the name of Nabwiiso in our ranks. And I must pray very hard, and I want you to pray for me that I survive up to the time that we take over our government leadership. Now, recently, I think early this year, I was listening to CBS News. It was on a Wednesday, and there was a talk which normally comes soon after 7 o'clock, chaired by, who is this man? Say it again? No. Lady Sereko was chairing this session, Kiriso Bagana, and one chap who was here as the Deputy Secretary General remarked that there is not any single sensible person that has remained in the FDC Najarankumbi. Really? Don't you have any sensible person? Even me? That I'm not sensible? We have intellectuals here, people with masters, and when I look around, most of the people I see are university graduates. All these people don't have any sense. That was a very nasty remark. And I condemn that statement in very strong terms. However, we sat in the Elders Committee chaired by Dr. Frank Nabwiiso, with my sister here, Master Atiku, all the way from Guru, from Arua. Arua is not very far and others. Now, Mkalazi Kibuka is also here. Is there any other person who is here that we attended with? There's a chap who was a very friendly and active member from Kameramaido. He's not here. We had somebody who defected. He defected from, he was coming from Marara. You remember that chap? What is his name? Yatembeya. 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 And he did not complete the journey. However, we pushed on until we completed the task. However, when the report came out, there was also another person who made a remark. In the face of the chairman, he said, and I quote, the paper on which the report was written was not worth. No, the report was not worth. Am I right? Yes. The report was not worth the paper on which it was written. I still remember those nasty words. And they were indeed very liberating. However, Dr. Nabwiiso told us something. It was something to do with psychology. But I fear that if I say it or I relate it to you now, it may offend some fellows. But since I intend to meet all of you individually, I'll let you get the message. Now, finally, I want to say that the Elders Committee did its job. Like Honorable General has said, we did not intend to look for a winner, neither did we intend to find a loser. Indeed, the report does not incriminate any single person, just as it does not exonerate the wrongdoers in the act. The report is still there for people to see, for people to scrutinize, and come out with their own conclusions. My last remark goes to the family of the late Dr. Nabwiiso, especially Mama Nabwiiso. I want you to be strong, and we shall join you all the time, to rally behind you, so that you remain strong and complete this journey with us. May God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mzee Kasozi. I would now like to invite the Secretary General, Nathan Nandala Mafagi James, to address the National Executive Committee.
President, thank you so much. Mama Nabwiiso and the family, the members of Late, we are led by our President and the Chair, our fellow monarchs. I think my other name should be Pajba. Everybody patches me. I met Dr. Nabwiiso in 2001 in Parliament.